a member of the 72 Earthly Fiends. 13th Mother recognized the man opposite her. He was the most formidable killer in the organization. Tang Long. She wanted him to remain loyal to the organization, but unexpectedly, the man insisted he was just an ordinary villager named Liu Jinxi. This enraged 13th Mother. Immediately, she stomped on him, making him spit blood. Do you admit it? But, even so, Liu Jinxi still refused to confess. The onlookers saw this, and began murmuring among themselves. I'm talking to my son. What are you arguing about? This only fueled her rage. To vent her anger, she walked over to the village chief and slit his throat. Charge! Seeing Liu Jinxi still unmoved, 13th Mother grabbed an old man. Seeing the old man about to be harmed, Liu Jinxi threw a chair in time to stop her. Then, he soared into the air and kicked 13th Mother back. With things at this point, Liu Jinxi could avoid no longer. Clearly injured, he could no longer hide his true strength. Seeing this, Loud Voice immediately stepped forward, but he was no match for Liu Jinxi. In just 2 moves, he was sent flying by a knee strike. Then, Liu Jinxi knocked him down with a flurry of punches. You still claim you're not Tang Long? Seeing Liu Jinxi's skills unchanged from before, 13th Mother was thrilled, but nearby, Liu Jinxi's wife stood frozen. To avoid frightening his family further, Liu Jinxi hurriedly left the scene. 13th Mother followed closely. After some pursuit, the two broke into a cowshed. I won't go back with you. After saying that, Liu Jinxi assumed a fighting stance. Prepared to fight, facing the swift blade swung by 13th Mother, she remained calm, waiting for her opponent to close in. She suddenly exerted force to repel her. Before 13th Mother could react, she kicked away her opponent's twin swords. Seeing this, 13th Mother intended to engage in close combat, but was thrown hard to the ground by Liu Jinxi. Realizing she was no match, 13th Mother endured the pain, drew a large knife, and stabbed it into the cow's hind leg. She wanted the big black bull to gore Liu Jinxi. Unexpectedly, Liu Jinxi reacted swiftly. Seizing the opportunity, he grabbed the horns and leaped onto the beam. But the seriously injured 13th Mother couldn't dodge in time. She was about to be gored out of the shed. At the critical moment, Liu Jinxi grabbed her hand in time. Are you Tang Long? Until now, Liu Jinxi was still unwilling to admit who he was. That he was Tang Long, because he was tired of the violence in the martial world. Now, he just wanted to live an ordinary life. After an internal struggle, he finally decided to release his grip, letting 13th Mother sink into the water, bidding farewell to his past completely. Afterwards, Liu Jinxi returned to Liujia village. He planned to continue living as an ordinary person. To make a living, he also took a job as a clerk at a place called Guifang. He thought such a life would last until his old age. However, 2 men suddenly appeared at Guifang that day, shattering his peaceful life once again. We are here to get the silver. Are you here to buy paper? Ah, we are here to get the silver. Is there any Chandai? Why are you here for silver? Understanding, realizing that the 2 men intended to rob him, the shopkeeper quickly put away the change, then took out a wooden stick and swung it at them. Unexpectedly, it was easily snatched by the thin robber. The waiter nearby saw this. He rushed forward to help but was kicked back by the tall robber. The robbers failed to find the silver and were enraged, then began beating the shopkeeper and waiter, forcing them to reveal where the money was hidden. Witnessing this, a master who wished to avoid the martial world's conflicts, Liu Jinxi intended to hide aside quickly. But as the tall robber was about to kill the shopkeeper, Liu Jinxi still couldn't stand by idly, so he rushed out and grabbed the tall robber, then used leverage to control the robber's every move, making it impossible for him to break free. Seeing this, the thin robber quickly drew his knife to assist, but due to Liu Jinxi's maneuvering, he accidentally cut off the tall robber's ear. The tall robber, in pain, saw the thin one about to advance, so he swiftly kicked him back, then hurled Liu Jinxi out. The thin robber, seeing this, tried to attack Liu Jinxi but leaped too high. He crashed into the corner and died instantly. Seeing his comrade die, the tall robber ignored the pain. He seized Liu Jinxi and rushed outside, ready to fight. But he had never studied physics well in school. He didn't know water could dissipate a punch's force, even if he struck fiercely. It caused Liu Jinxi no harm. Finally, Liu Jinxi punched his temple, killing him instantly. Soon, the Yamen learned of the robbers' deaths. To investigate, the coroner from the Yamen thoroughly examined their bodies. The lungs were not fatal. The kidneys were not fatal. Metal objects were not fatal. But unexpectedly, after searching every part of the body thoroughly, they still couldn't find where the fatal wounds were on the 2 bodies. But this aroused the suspicion of Constable Xu Baijiu. He then personally stepped forward to examine carefully. To his surprise, he discovered that the tall man was actually the thief Yang Dongsheng, with a heavy bounty from the imperial court. Given the gravity of the matter, Xu Baijiu promptly reported it to the county magistrate. You mean that Liu Jinxi unintentionally captured Yang Dongsheng? Dead. Not only was he captured, but he was also executed. Upon learning Yang Dongsheng died within his jurisdiction, the county magistrate was delighted and immediately sought out Liu Jinxi. He publicly praised him, referring to this person, named Yang Dongsheng. He is a wanted felon, the mastermind behind multiple murders. Our great hero Liu Jinxi brought this scoundrel to justice. This is excellent news. Hearing the county magistrate's praise, the villagers were overjoyed. From then on, They hailed Liu Jinci as the great hero of Liujia village. Yet this still failed to dispel Xu Baizhou's suspicions. He couldn't fathom how an ordinary citizen could kill Yang Dongsheng, who was highly skilled in martial arts. Therefore, that night, he re-examined the body and discovered Yang Dongsheng's eyes were bloodshot, caused by a severe blow to the temple. Beneath the temple lie numerous vagus nerves, one of which controls the heart's beating. If this nerve is severely injured, the person will die from cardiac arrest. But to sever the vagus nerve with a single punch requires many years of training. So the next morning, Xu Baizhou came to Liu Jinci's residence, intending for Liu Jinci to recount the incident. But Liu Jinci replied that he merely held Yang Dongsheng, and everything that followed was coincidental. Although Liu Jinci's acting is superb, Xu Baizhou sees through it. He is pretending to be weak to outsmart others. To investigate further, Xu Baizhou began observing closely, never leaving his side. Even when Liu Jinci went up the mountain to cut bamboo, Xu Baizhou followed him constantly. Impossible. Your fushi cultivation is extremely low, below mine. With your skills, your disciple's fushi level must be at least 4 cycles. Only then can it accumulate in the danqian. Yet you have only 2 stages. Impossible. To verify this man's true strength, Xu Baizhou devised a test. Xu Baizhou came up with a plan. Let me help you. Lord Xu, no need. No need for your concern, Lord Xu. I've got it. Ouch. This should be a hard impact. Lord Xu, Liu Jinci was thrown off the high bridge and caught by a branch. Seeing this, the villagers rushed to rescue him, but unexpectedly, the branch snapped, causing Liu Jinci to fall into the river. Fortunately, the villagers saved him in time, preventing a tragedy. But from this test, Xu Baizhou concluded Liu Jinci is a master. His skills are unfathomable. That branch couldn't possibly support Liu Jinci's weight. The reason he could land on it is that he used lightness skill to control his weight. To uncover Liu Jinci's true identity, Xu Baizhou questioned local villagers. According to them, Liu Jinci isn't a native of Liu village. He married Liu Ayu years ago and was thus added to the family register, and was named Liu Jinci. Upon learning this, Xu Baizhou summoned his men, ordering them to investigate Liu Jinci's past before he came to Liu village. He himself stayed in the village, watching Liu Jinci's every move. On this day, at the village market, Xu Baizhou unexpectedly noticed that Liu Jinci had an incredibly powerful aura surrounding him, so strong that even flies couldn't get near him. In combat, he was far stronger than ordinary men. The external energy he emitted prevented even flies from approaching him. Xu Baizhou saw this as the perfect moment to publicly unmask Liu Jinci. So he planned to exploit Liu Jinci's unguarded state and test him with a sickle. He had expected Liu Jinci's aura to deflect the sickle. To his shock, the sickle lodged straight into his shoulder. Witnessing this, Xu Baizhou froze in place, utterly stunned. He couldn't help doubting the accuracy of his earlier judgment. But just then, his subordinate returned after gathering intel and reported to Xu Baizhou. Years ago, a butcher's family in a neighboring village was brutally massacred. The perpetrator was Tang Long, the deadliest assassin of the 72 Earth Fiends. Since then, Tang Long had left the 72 Earth Fiends, and the timing coincided exactly with Liu Jinci's arrival in Liujia village. Hearing this, Xu Baizhou finally confirmed he was Tang Long. He learned that Liu Jinci was the imperial fugitive wanted by the court. Xu Baizhou hastily set off for the capital to obtain a warrant and bring Liu Jinci to justice. But little did he know, as soon as he had taken the warrant, the chief constable, aiming to profit hugely from this, promptly sold Liu Jinci's whereabouts to the leader of the 72 Earth Fiends. He had assumed Tang Long left the 72 Earth Fiends due to a rift with the organization. To his shock, Tang Long was actually the leader's own son. You dare to inform me? Do you expect me to kill my own son with my bare hands? How dare you? No sooner had he spoken than the leader threw a punch, striking the chief constable's temple and killing him instantly. Then, to force Tang Long back into the fold, the cult leader commanded his men to torch Liujia village, leaving the villagers devastated. Witnessing this carnage, Liu Jinci knew he'd brought ruin upon them. To spare the villagers further torment from the 72 Earth demons, he resolved to face his past. He surrendered himself to the authorities. Just then, Xu Baizhou arrived from the capital. Learning Liu Jinci had confessed to his past crimes, he prepared to escort him back to the capital. But the 72 Earth demons now lurked outside the village daily. A direct departure would guarantee an ambush by the assassins. Not only would Tang Long be dragged back to the organization, but Xu Baizhou and his men would also be slain. To ensure everyone's safety, Xu Baizhou devised a plan. Tang Long, you must die. Xu Baizhou revealed his mastery of pressure points to Liu Jinci, explaining he could induce suspended animation to deceive the Earth demons. But the effect would last only 15 minutes. Beyond that, the feigned death would become permanent. Without hesitation, Liu Jinci agreed to the perilous gambit, made a bold decision to take risks. The next day, Xu Baizhou's convoy departed Liujia village with Liu Jinci appearing lifeless. Soon, the Earth demons encircled them. We are transporting Tang Long's body to the Yamen. Stand aside. Learning of Tang Long's death, the assassins began mourning, chanting a funeral dirge. But as the 15-minute mark neared, and their lament continued, Xu Baizhou had no choice but to leap onto the carriage and pound Liu Jinci's chest. Yet despite his frantic efforts, it didn't wake the other party up. Seeing this, Xu Baizhou instantly fell into despair. He hadn't expected to be one step too late in the end. However, Just as he thought it was all over, Liu Jinsi miraculously woke up. He looked at the 72 earth demons. Liu Jinsi knew he couldn't escape his fate, so he immediately sealed his acupoints and cut off his left arm with a single slash. I return this hand of murder to the 72 earth demons. With this hand gone, I am no longer one of the earth demons. Liu Jinsi thought severing his arm would sever ties with the 72 earth demons. But unexpectedly, the leader said, "The cult leader is waiting for you in Liujia village right now." Hearing this, Liu Jinsi rushed back home. He knew the cult leader was ruthless. A tragedy could occur if he was even a second late. But fortunately, the cult leader was holding his son and singing. The cult leader sang, "It's Xianyo, love, love to listen. So nice, so nice. I'll sing it to Grandpa every day from now on." Liu Jinsi slowly sat at the dining table. Seeing he had lost an arm, the cult leader immediately understood he wanted to sever ties with the organization. "I'll let you go. I'm a fair person. For everyone who leaves, another must replace them. The blood in you is mine. The blood in him is mine too," he said. The cult leader held Liu Jinsi's son high, demanding one life for another. At the critical moment, Liu Jinsi drew his knife in time to save his son. Then he slashed at the cult leader first, igniting a battle between them. But now, Liu Jinsi had only one arm, no match for the cult leader's iron shirt. He was knocked back by an elbow strike. As the cult leader gathered strength for a fatal blow, Shu Baijiu suddenly appeared from under the floor. With a silver needle, he pierced the sole of the cult leader's foot. Sensing someone beneath him, the leader instantly leaped up, shattering the floorboards. He dragged Shu Baijiu out. Unexpectedly, Shu Baijiu seized the chance to stab the leader's heel with another silver needle, shattering his iron shirt defense. At that critical moment, Liu Jinsi seized the opening, swinging his blade back to slash a bloody gash across the leader's chest. Enraged by this sight, the leader abandoned all restraint, determined to strike Liu Jinsi down. Under the leader's furious assault, Liu Jinsi gradually lost the ability to counterattack. "This world has no place for us Western Xia people. How dare you forsake the dark arts, the very foundation our ancestors built their legacy upon, you traitor!" As they moved outside, the leader prepared his final strike. However, Shu Baijiu noticed the silver needle still embedded in the leader's foot, and swiftly drove another needle into the back of his neck, turning his body into a conduit. Within moments, a bolt of lightning struck, ending the leader's life instantly. Thus, the conflict reached its end.